Hi, this is Ben from benrogersproperty.com and this is the Property Diary. Today's Monday the 7th of October. Now I want to share with you today something that my buddy Tony reminds me about, and I thought it was quite interesting. Tony's got a potential client, potential seller who has a property, but they need the money out of it to go to the next property. Now when we're doing options, this is the one thing what are we going to do? They need the money out, and it's a lot easier if they don't need the money out, and what am I going to do with this? Well, Tony's had a good long conversation with his mortgage broker today, trying to work out a solution for it. And it reminded me of a deal that we did down in Brighton. So I shared it with Tony. That's going to help him give the third party offset so that he can then talk to the sellers that he's got right now. Give them confidence. So the background is this: they need the money, they want to go and buy the next house. So how do you do that? And the mortgage broker says to him, well, what you want to do is like a let to buy. So Tony said, well, what are we talking about, let to buy? What does that mean? That means basically somebody's letting out their house to go and buy the new one. And it's a common thing people have been doing for years and years and years and years. Just how the actual product that sort of sits around how they move on. So I said, do you know what, Tony, this is exactly what we did before. We had a couple down in New Haven down on the south coast, and they wanted to sell the house. It was in a cul-de-sac. That's great. Apart from the cul-de-sac, was at the end of the cul-de-sac was the entrance to an industrial estate. That was great. Apart from when everybody turned up to look at the house, they kind of didn't like it because it had this industrial estate down the end there. And they weren't particularly motivated until they found the house that they wanted to move into. Then the motivation levels go way up. So what we did there was we actually helped them get a remortgage. Sorry, we didn't help. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't help them that. But what they did was they got in touch with their mortgage broker, got a let to buy remortgage on their property, pulled some cash out of it, took that cash and got the deposit on the new place. But here's the crux of the matter. The new place is therefore going to cost them more each month on the mortgage payment, because they still had some of their equity tied up in the old place, which if they had got out, would mean they had a smaller mortgage on the new place. So here's what we did. We said, look, I tell you what, everything above what your existing mortgage is, monthly payment wise, will cover. So in fact, we pay like a top up to them for their new house, their new home, which is great. So they're not paying any more. And what happens is, until we actually complete on the purchase stroke sale of their old house with the incoming tenant buyer, once that happens, that releases the extra cash that's tied up, that goes to the new place, they can reduce their mortgage and their payments will be back to where they were. Everybody's happy. So by Tony having that kind of third party offset, this is what we've done before. My partner Ben has done a similar sort of transaction. This is how it benefited them. This is how I think it would work for you. What I suggest is have a conversation with your mortgage broker. They can advise you whether this will work, but I'm just sort of sharing how it worked with somebody else. And I wonder if it worked for them, it might be something that would work for you. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give advice. I can only share the ways that other people have done it so they can go and investigate whether it's something that works for them. They then make the decision. I just help sort of feed them in the right direction to answer their problem and solve their problem. The guys that Tony's working with are highly motivated to get to the new house. Do you think they'll go and do that extra mile? Of course they will do, because that's what they want. This is a solution that Tony's putting forward to them. Now the way that Tony needs to speak to them is get them emotional and talking about the new place. It's all about the goal here. It's all about the destination. It's not about the journey and the steps that they're going to need to take. It's not about the forms they're going to have to fill out to remortgage their property. It's the goal. It's what do we get? We get the new home. You get the family to move to where they want to be. They're close to the schools. They're, it's close to family. Whatever the reasons there are for them moving, that's what Tony will be concentrating on when he speaks to them. Help people make an emotional decision that they're, God, let's get my teeth in. Help people make an emotional decision that they will then back up and justify with logic afterwards. All right? We're just a conduit for that information. We're just a facilitator of that decision-making process. We're just there to help and nurture what their dream is and solve their problem that's going to go away and we're going to get rid of for them. So there you go. I thought it was quite handy to share that tonight, because people think about how do we deal with those things. Look, this is how you do it. Third party offset. work for somebody else, might work for you. Why don't you have a chat with your mortgage broker and get their advice? Could that then get you into your property? How soon would you like to be in there? What's it going to be like? How are you going to feel when you move into that place? These are all sorts of emotional conversations that are going to get them into taking action and moving forward with this. There you go. Excuse me. My name's Ben. This is the Property Diary. Today's Monday the 7th of October. Great sharing that with you. Hope you find it helpful, and I'll speak to you on the next diary. Take care.